Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you a Vyse guide for Sunset. I think this has potential to be one of her better maps the more I played on it, and I figured that the things that I found could be helpful to all of you. So let's get into it. Alright, as always with me, I like to start on the A side of maps because A is first. So we have A of Sunset, and I think this is the side that probably is her best side, or site, I guess I should say, because honestly, I was playing B. People get really scared of B because they kind of have to address the wall and then both of your thorns over there, but it also gets predictable, so some raised nades or some Sova shock darts already clear things out over on B, but for A, it's a bit more intricate. Now, I'm going to start from over here because, well, this is the forward position you can play if you want to. You can throw this wall to give you just like a little bit of breathing room for them to trip it. You can put it over on, bam, closer to get it there. You can pull it out like that one. If you do put this wall out, give yourself some info because can't jiggle peek it until here. And yes, they will be safe, but now you have earlier info, and it doesn't just cut off there. And if they're just doing something, like if you have a teammate pushing up and now they're panicked and they have to feel like they have to press this way, they are now in here. And if you throw that wall, though, do not put these razor vines because it will break. But the reason I like these razor vines is because it's unbreakable, like from spam, unless you want to toss something in here to break it, and it falls down, covers the ramp up, and you will know that you can play on it. So on top of that, you can also do that. You hear that it got tripped. If you want to put your blind somewhere,
Retrieving flash.
kept that as a note, blind somewhere like there. You heard it got tripped,
Blinding.
and then and the razor
Retrieving
vines.
flash.
Probably don't need all of that, but you can do it. Other thing with playing this far up is you can put it out here for early info.
Flash placed. Flashing.
Like that will cover all the way out here, but they also probably will hear you setting it up and have time to address it. So
Retrieving flash.
I personally don't find much use in putting it out here for the info because it'll just put you on a friggin' not fucking 45-second cooldown for your stuff. I'm not a fan of it,
Blinding prep.
especially it keeps going
Retrieving
up there
flash.
because it's kind of wonky there. But you can, and that's how we go from there. You can also just make whatever death pitch you want with your razor vines.
Launching thorns.
Coming down this way, you hear them
Launching
charging.
Thorns active. Thorns are alive.
Nobody's going through all of that. They have to respect that. And you have the wall back up here. This is where the barrier is, so this is about the deepest wall you can set up before the barrier drops. Same thing.
Rip and tear.
If you want to dedicate your razor vines to this, you can.
Thorns activated.
You can even place
Flash placed.
flash about there. That way, if you want to play, say, here, you hear them coming,
Flashing.
flash them. Now, the thing about why I don't really like the flash on this side, but you can do it, is because you can see it at 10. They will start seeing it about here. So, you really have to be on it if that's the case. But, then we come to why I have all of this here. First off, I thought this was kind of neat. Just take it out,
Launching thorns.
of course. Never on the first try when you want to record.
Launching thorns.
Jump up, place it on, and
Thorns are alive.
falls down. Covers a lot of the site. They can't just get back there safely if you're not playing here too. But that's what I want to note is that I have these because I think you want to do, this might be your best spot to play Vyse on this map. If you are just over here in the back tucked in, they try to push you, you hear them pushing the site, they can't, they are slowed, you have freedom to move. You get to capitalize on it however you want. With some razor vines at about there, and they also won't see them till about close. So that just completely locks down everything. But again, that one's for if you want to play a little bit somewhere different and you know that they're not pushing you anytime soon. Maybe you want to play on what I suggest is probably her best friend of most of the sites that I've gone through so far, including like on other maps. This little ledge right here is your best friend. You can now once the I said now once the barrier drops, it's really tight, as you can see. Be ready to
Blinding
bam
crack. Blinding.
get info there if you
Retrieving
really
flash.
want.
Blinding crack.
Bam
Blinding.
info there if you really want. I'll show you where this one is because this one's a little bit neat. That one's up there. So if they're not paying attention to looking up and hearing the sound, you can probably get that
Retrieving
off every
flash.
now and again. And it covers a little bit more. But the other reason that you like this is because sure, if you really want, you can. I don't remember. Bam.
Launching thorns.
It's a little bit.
Launching thorns.
There you go. You can do that onto the spike if you
Thorns
really want,
activated.
and that'll also give you some effect where it's less likely to get broken. But they also have a little bit more wiggle room to be okay right here and not committal. But this ledge also lets you have the height to place
Flash placed.
your blind up
Retrieving
here,
flash.
and my favorite spot so far,
Flash placed.
right under this camera. You can do it on the other camera too, but as we'll see right here,
There.
ping here. This is where they have to be for them to see it. That's why I suggest one of these two deeper walls once the barrier drops. So trigger,
Flashing.
bam, pop those, and that just slows down the advance.
Retrieving
Now,
flash.
the one back here is the one you want to do if you're playing back over here. You hear that they're marching in, and that will catch people coming in from there,
Blinding.
people coming in from this way.
Retrieving flash.
If you want to put it on this camera here, gotta jump,
Flash placed.
and you can, again, that's the one where it's timings, you can get it to like right there, and even like coming out, jetting out here, but
There.
they will see it way too soon. Now, I will cover deeper that way, but
Retrieving flash.
I'm not a fan of it. Other people want to throw it like up there. I don't see the purpose of it, if I'm being honest,
Blinding crack.
because then that gets blocked off by this box, but
Retrieving flash.
that's there for you. Now, that's pretty much the coolest things that I found for this. You can also toss out walls. That'll mean that they have to commit
Placing wall trap.
further pretty deep. I do not like this wall per se, but if they're already here, you blind them, that means that the pick is easier for you to get because they're like right here. And you know that you have time to prep for somebody else. Because when they pop these walls over here, yes, this is spammable, but sometimes I don't necessarily like having to spam for it, but they can, after getting flashed, retreat over here to safety. So, sometimes you want to throw the wall in front of the box. That's pretty much it for A. For mid, just info wall. You can also, at the beginning,
Blinding crack.
get that ready. Well, as soon as the barriers go down, that is. And then if you feel like people have been dueling in mid,
Flashing.
take the early advantage. You get them. If depending on how quick and what aimers you're dealing with, you can start coming out and then flash. That way you know that they will be flashed, or you can just hope that
Blinding.
bam, and then they aren't already running because they're not focused on you. They were just focused on getting flashed. That's where it comes in. It's like if they were focused on you, and they aren't the best aimers, and I mean literally like the best aimers,
Blinding.
you get that flash while you're coming out, you blind them, you get the pick.
Retrieving flash.
And I'll do it on the other side too, right, while I'm right here. I like to jump on the box. And when that goes down,
Flash placed.
put it there. Most people don't notice it from there. Or at least so far they haven't. Because they already don't want to just swing out here, so they'll probably have time to prime.
Flashing.
Blind them, get your info. Say that they wanted to try to be a little bit sneaky. Get a peek out here. It catches them too.
Retrieving flash.
That's the cool mid things that I found so far. Oh, I should also mention real quick. Post plant is pretty easy with Vyse the same way because the site plays front to back like the same way. That's how a lot of sites go, where it's like, oh, now you have to retake the site. But I feel that more so for this one, because once the spike is down, say it's down here, or is down behind there, these would still work. People want to come into right here to be safe, these still work. This still works.
Thorns activated.
Put that down there, feel like they're going for it, or if you have somebody you know that they're going for it, you pop that on top of there and say a Raze or a Gecko, KO, Molly back here, Brimstone, whatever you have. Dump it to the person that thought that they were perfectly fine to defuse back here. And again, just
Rip and tear.
jump, throw it. You also just have the safety
Rip and tear.
to throw it there for the retakes, and also, if you can, about there.
Thorns are live.
That way it goes top and bottom, so they have to slowly jump down. Like, they have to get through it. But yeah, that's retake stuff. Walls, it's fairly bland on here. Feel what you want. There's nothing too special about there so far. But then we come over here, and this isn't special yet either. But I do find it funny to make people have to deal with a second wall. I am one of the people that in games will immediately throw the door. If I'm on defense, I will throw the door. Why? Because they have to now get through a door that will make sound to let me know, and I don't have to break it on the retake. I think we need to do this more in Valorant, especially on here and Ascent. Well, of course, the only breakable doors, right? But it doesn't really make too much sense to me that we want to fight this, leave this open forever, and then once the people that want to get on the site have some safety behind them. Throw that door, make it unsafe for them every step of the way. But that's my opinion, I digress. After they break that door, they immediately run in like, yeah, we got it. Boom, boom. That's dependent on how many times you've noticed them splitting on you. Because after a while, they will get tired of this setup. Awesome. I had to double check that I didn't leave the flash over there. Alright. So, I like throwing this wall fairly infrequently. Like, try to rotate to switch it up.
Wall set.
Because they think they're good. Somebody strips here, and then, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. You either have information that they are still trying to come hit the B site, or somebody got a little too cocky, and now they are
Blinding prep. Blinding.
blinded and out. Now, the other thing, you notice that I didn't look to put that up high. The reason for that is because what people want to put it high for is on maps where you'll get a lot of people blind and they don't have safety to then trade out your flash. What I think a lot of people are doing a mistake in their setup is that they're putting it all the way like, oh, okay, for the sake of
Blinding prep.
putting it all the way up here. And yeah, you've blinded that person, but now the people that had this middle wall in front of them, or they were hiding behind this corner or that corner, they heard the sound and now they break that for the person that
Retrieving
went out.
flash.
And now you're back on the 45. Now you can't just retract it every time, but that also is too much on you sometimes. If you just flash it into a place where you don't have to worry about recalling it, you can just immediately swing instead of going through the whole... Uh-oh.
Flash placed. Flashing. Retrieving flash.
And now you still don't have your gun out. Instead,
Flash placed. Blinding. Retrieving flash.
do the thing there. Just so it doesn't get broken by whoever wasn't blinded hiding here. So that's why on this side, on B side, I'm more of a fan of even doing it on the floor every now and again, depending on where they've been trying to like take care of your razor vines. Throw it on the floor. Because then your giant wall comes up. and then they can't trade it out, and the person that came in and triggered it is blinded.
Retrieving flash.
Now, of course, I threw these because everybody's going to throw these. You're going to throw this wall after people start catching on to this one, and then if you want to make them think that you switch sides, you throw this one a little bit deeper.
Placing wall trap.
I will say I also like playing on this box a lot of the time with some of these walls, especially if I'm using that wall. Gives me plenty of time. Now, you have to be careful because remember, it is 7 seconds. So, if somebody did trigger it, trying to jump peek it right here. Bam. Alright. You flash them, whatever you need to do to make sure you secure that. But you have to get out of the way before this falls quickly. Okay? Now, you can also place the flash on this tree. By getting up here, just like a cipher cam.
Blinding trap.
You're not trying to be cipher, though.
Blinding.
Yeah, it'll catch starting there. But once somebody's here trying to plant the spike, you won't have much for them.
Retrieving flash.
You've noticed that I have this wall here. Why? I like this as a post-plant wall idea. If you plant the spike about here, somebody tries to come out to either jiggle, and you have this. The whole thing about this is that it's Pearl again, where you're able to just plant the spike, play down from long, which is main in this case, and just spam. So with this, you have given yourself another wall that they thought they were safe on that people normally won't recognize. And if they try to jiggle peek it, guess what? That's 7 seconds of them not being able to get to the spike. Now, if they notice this wall a lot sooner and they catch on to you, they can, sneak up and start diffusing from about here. That's when you just plant spike deeper. Depends on what, probably your gecko, or whoever is planting it does. So this isn't an every time wall. This is an occasional wall. Like if you want to be real fancy feast on them. You can throw a wall here. That way you just know that they're about to come touch the spike. Especially if you plant here. Say you plant here. Get ready there. Probably want to throw some spikes there. Now, for post plant, I like throwing spikes there, because duh, and there. They don't need to be too deep because they have to come out all the way here. So you get the peaks there, and then you just have razor vines that they have to address from this angle, and they're not going to see it until they are out. And if they're out, you have that information that they're trying to break it, or else they have to deal with it. And then if they're going through it, you hear the little crunchy crunch. Swing off of it if you are that confident. So yeah, Sunset is pretty simple with the things that I've found so far. Oh, I should also, one thing that I like about this map too, is the ult actually has a little bit more value compared. So if you do it from about here, if you look at the map, not only will you catch everybody that was in main, might try to back up out of main from lobby, you will catch people that were trying to do a mid split too, more than likely. You can even just pull up your mini map to get closer. If you feel like there's no way that they could have crossed here yet, don't even give them room. You can do it about there and they won't have safety really there. You'll catch their toe. And you can catch all of this before they try to split on you, because you will hear the noise. If you are like me, you have that door closed too. You hear it coming.
Bring me the arsenal! My ultimate's ready.
Pop that if you need to. Pop this one if you need to. Have the wall, have the flash.
Flash placed. Flashing.
Whatever you need to do. But that's why I like this on this site too. Now for the other site, not as much, but also, if you are playing in your favorite spot here, and you hear them coming, you hear them a-brewing, you also will catch anybody that was trying to split from both of these ways, because you're playing back here.
Bring me the arsenal! My ultimate's ready.
That's one that I've left out in other things that I've found, because everything else is kind of simple, but on here, this map so far gives you kind of the best potential for it. Especially if you want to do it maybe here once the barrier goes down. You hear there's some rumblings. They're trying to do a fast execute. Nobody can ever do as fast of an execute through here as they think because they have to worry about two different angles. A lot of the times you can have a duelist or somebody, and maybe you want to go double sentinel and you have a chamber. Yoru, Reyna eyes have been good from this angle. You have them here. They get the first contact duel. Have somebody follow with you, and right up to here, you could even come all the way with them if you're that confident that you can get this out of your hand before they swing you too. There's a chance. There is a chance, especially if you throw smokes down.
Bring me the arsenal! My ultimate's ready.
You see how far they have to run away so that they don't have to go down to pistols? I love this ult on this map. And then for retakes, it goes the same way. You're coming in. Look at how much that you cover right here. Now, mind you, if they run off of sight so that they
There.
don't get hit by it, you know that you, well, you don't know because this is an info, and that seems to be a criticism, but we've also loved KO's ult. So you have them all the way back to alley, and you have them pushed further back from link
There.
while you are trying to retake.
Bring me the arsenal! My ultimate's ready.
Everybody that was in their little tiny hidey holes, awesome. Or if you're coming from this way, if you can get to, even if you can get to here, you're already clearing a significant portion of the things that you want cleared. Even better if you can make this cross here.
Bring me the arsenal! My ultimate's ready.
They have to run back here, all the way back here, to avoid getting hit by it. And by that time, you're on site and already can have a sight line to here. So far in Sunset, I love the ult. But yeah, that's what we've got for Sunset so far. If you find anything else that's kind of cool, feel free to let me know. But I think so far from what I've played, Vyse on Sunset is feeling really nice. I'm thinking it might be her best map so far, but Sunset plays where a lot of agents feel pretty darn viable on it. So, oh no, that's just early impressions as I go through each of these maps trying to find out what I can find out and sharing it with everybody that wants it to be shared with. So, yeah, if you liked the video, like it. Got a comment from me, comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.